I'm here in Nigeria, where the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has admitted into evidence and played in open court a video recording allegedly showing Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, issuing directives to his supporters, which the prosecution claims incited acts of terrorism across the southeast. In the recording, Mr. Kanu said allegedly it is important to protect the lives of IPOB in the southeast. The day's proceeding commenced with the prosecution's second witness, who gave his evidence in chief before the presiding judge, Justice James Omotosho. The witness assumed the alias BBB to protect his identity and is a serving DSS officer with at least 20 years service with the agency. Counsel for the prosecution sought to tender before the court a flash drive containing what he described as one of Mr. Kanu's broadcasts and a certificate of compliance, along with a statement written by the accused sometime in 2021. Mr. Kanu objected to the certificate of compliance of the audio and video recording and told the court that he will give reasons as to why he's objecting at a later date. The court now has before it the recording device, a certificate of compliance, even as the defense objected to the admission, as the video was played in open court. Mr. Kanu allegedly was addressing his followers and was audible when he said, quote, his reference to the proposed entity as a blessed land of Biafra. He also announced the formation of the Eastern Security Network, where he urged followers to defend their land against what he referred to as domination by another tribe. Well, let's get more on this. Senior reporter Celestina Area joins me for more on this development. Celestina, a lot has happened, in court between yesterday and today, but bring us up to speed on the day's proceeding.
Okay, well, Precious, the court today took the second witness of the federal government, who is an officer of the DSS and who has over 20 years of service, and he was codenamed Mr. BBB, just to protect his identity. As we recall, the court has earlier granted an order that witnesses that will come before the court to testify in this case will be shielded and will be protected. So today he tendered two material evidence, which is a flash drive containing video recording that was made, according to the witness, by Nnamdi Kanu, and also his statement that was taken from Nnamdi Kanu in 2021 when he was brought back to Nigeria from Kenya, and as well as the certificate of compliance. That certificate of compliance is what gives credence to the audio and video recording in terms of how it was gotten and its admissibility. The counsel representing Nnamdi Kanu had objected to this evidences presented before the court, but said that they will give their reason for objection later, so as to not to impede the process of the trial, to allow the trial to go on, but they will give their reasons at a later date. So the court admitted these materials as evidence, and the prosecuting counsel, Adegboyega Awemolo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, asked that the audio and video recording be played in court. It was played in open court through the devices in court, and Precious, I can say, it was very explosive. And from what we could see on the recording and the video that was played in court, there's something in law called res ipsa loquitur, which is, it speaks for itself. And we are trying to be very careful with our narrative, because we do not want in any way to incite violence or incite Nigerians. So the defendant will have an opportunity to cross-examine the witness come tomorrow, because the court has granted a celebrated hearing in the case, which means the matter will be taken from day to day, just to expedite the process and also ensure that all of these things come to an end, because this issue has lingered on for over 10
Celestina,
interesting in 2015.
Interesting you mentioned that, because I was going to say, look, it's good that now there is expedited hearing so that people do not lose track. But for those who have lost track of this particular case, it's dragged on for a really long time. Just in a minute or so, bring us up to speed on on all that has played out, what the trial is about, up to where we are now.
Okay, it started in 2015 when Mr. Kanu was arrested, and he was arrested by the DSS, put on trial, and along the process he was granted bail, and as at that time he was accused of calling for He was accused of basically terrorism as at that time. But along the line, he was granted bail, but the federal government said that he jumped bail. But Mr. Kanu, as at that time, put out a statement to say that he was fleeing for his life because his residence in Abia State was raided and he had to run. So in 2021, Mr. Kanu was rearrested. And we recall that that issue of his rearrest dragged up all to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court has said that he was extraordinarily renditions to Nigeria, but that should not take away the fact that he should answer for the alleged crimes against him or the alleged offenses against him. So that brought us back from the 2015 to 2021 when he was rearrested. And the videos that were played in court today was the ones that Mr. Kanu allegedly broadcasted in 2020. So in 2021, he was arrested. He was brought back to Nigeria, has been in the custody of the DSS, and the issue had been before Justice Binta Anyanku. And at that court, we didn't record any progress of the case because they were from one application to another, from one order to another, to one interlocutory injunction, to one ex parte application, because counsel to Mr. Kanu, as at that time, had decried a lot of maltreatment of their clients, from him not having access to change of clothes and also access to medical attention. So because at the point in time in the trial, Mr. Kanu asked Justice Binta to recuse herself from the trial, that he didn't have confidence in her delivering judgment or justice. So she recused herself from the trial, and the case was taken to Justice James Omotosho, who is the current judge handling the case as of today.
Thank you so much, Celestina. That was, brilliantly done, packing more than 10 years or 10 years, into just a minute. Thank you, Celestina, for that update. Senior reporter, Celestina, live for us in Abuja.